So, it looks like getting woke does not pay the bills. Who could have possibly foreseen this coming? Well, I'll drop a spoiler on you. Pretty much everyone with a semi-functioning brain. And while it is joyous to watch the evil mouse face huge financial issues, I can't help but feel a little bit bad for the good, hardworking people who are now going to lose their jobs. You know, because the insane company they work for decided to focus their priorities, not on simply making exciting superhero and fun kids movies so they can sell their silly little toys to the children, but instead on pushing their insane woke messaging and even going so far as to pick a political fight with an entire state's governor for having the audacity to fight for parents trying to protect their kids from being targeted by maniac activist teachers who are trying to warp their minds at disturbingly young ages when they couldn't possibly comprehend the sick things they are being told. So needless to say, the customers have had enough, and they are showing them by closing their wallets. Before we get started though, if you're new or a returning viewer here, if you enjoy content like this, I put out stuff every single day covering pop culture and commentary on funny and interesting stories of all kinds. So if you could consider hitting that subscribe button, that'd be awesome. I always work hard to make entertaining videos. But if not, I still appreciate you watching the video all the same. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's take a look at what exactly is going on here with Big Bad Disney. Disney to begin layoffs, targeted hiring freeze, and limiting travel. Oh boy. Disney will begin enacting layoffs, implementing a targeted hiring freeze, and limiting company travel as part of a sweep cost-cutting move announced to leadership Friday. In a memo obtained by Variety, which was sent to top execs Friday afternoon, Disney CEO Bob Chapek wrote, "I am fully aware this will be a difficult process for many of you and your teams. We are going to have to make tough and uncomfortable decisions. But that is just what leadership requires, and I thank you in advance for stepping up during this important time. Our company has weathered many challenges during our 100-year history, and I have no doubt we will achieve our goals and create a more nimble company better suited to the environment of tomorrow." Oh, shut up. My God, Bob Chapek is just an unmitigated loser. I just made a freaking video 2 weeks ago where this guy actually tried to deny the notion that Disney had become too woke and how they got along for 100 years just fine by catering to their audience and that they would continue to thrive the next 100 by doing the exact same thing. Of course, he left out the part that focusing on identity politics and wokeness instead of plain old fun is not catering to your audience. This interview was only 2 weeks ago, so he most definitely knew that the company was facing these financial woes. So what a surprise, he was being completely disingenuous when he gave that interview and said everything was just fine and everything would be just fine afterward. Chapek says that Disney will also be conducting a rigorous review of the company's content and marketing spending, with all these efforts being overseen by newly formed cost structure task force, comprised of Chapek, CFO Christina McCarthy, and General Counsel Horacio Gutierrez. Cost structure task force. Wow, that really sounds like quite the team. The layoffs and cost-cutting news hit 4 days after Disney presented rough quarterly earnings results, which sent the company's stock tumbling to its lowest price in more than 2 years. 2 years! This is so damn pathetic, man. This is Disney. They basically have the ability to print money in the forms of Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars, in addition to all the classic Disney properties. This shouldn't be fucking hard here at all. Those should be massive moneymakers. But instead, here they are about to enact mass cost-cutting measures and huge layoffs. And they're going to blame it all on the economic downturn. And while that obviously does have some effect, people are always going to want to be entertained. And when you have the likes of Marvel and Star Wars at your disposal, you shouldn't even be remotely close to this position. But after over a year of garbage woke movies like Shang-Chi, Eternals, Multiverse of Madness, and Thor Love and Thunder, yeah, those were serious gems. It's really no surprise. And they can't even do well with their theme parks either. I mean, they spent tons of cash creating the laughable Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser that nobody gave a shit about, and then jacking up their prices at all their parks so high that a family trip to Disney Orlando costs a small fortune. A vacation to Disney already costed an arm and a leg, but now I'd say it's strictly for wealthy families and nobody else. I mean, look at the price of these tickets to get into their parks. These are absolutely outrageous. While the company saw subscriptions for Disney Plus, which launches its ad-supported tier December 8th, significantly surpass Wall Street's expectations, Disney reported an operating loss for its streaming segment of $1.47 billion for the quarter that ended on October 1st, 2022, about $800 million more than the year earlier period. Revenue increased 8% to $4.9 billion, which the company attributed to higher losses at Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and lower results at Hulu. Meanwhile, revenue for Disney's linear television networks, pay TV and broadcast, dropped 5% in the quarter, which is regular old classic cable TV. So I think this obviously backs up the notion that high subscriber counts does not automatically mean financially successful. You know, you can boast about having higher than expected sub numbers, but if you are still unable to cover your operating costs and more, it doesn't mean shit. They really are so lucky that they have such a huge catalog of great, classic movies and shows on Disney Plus that were made long before the company went insane with wokeness. Because that's definitely the only reason that they have so many subscribers, in my opinion. It sure as hell isn't the likes of their new original content. Trash shows like Book of Boba Fett or She-Hulk. Those shows are definitely not attracting new customers. And if they do, it's probably only for a very limited period of time. They probably subscribe for 1 month and then cancel it. Especially after seeing how terrible the quality is on those shows. Chapek wrote Friday that these cost management efforts, which were hinted at by himself and McCarthy on the earnings call, and are occurring against a backdrop of economic uncertainty affecting all of Hollywood, will help us to both achieve the important goal of reaching profitability for Disney Plus in fiscal 2024 and makes us a more efficient and nimble company overall. Yeah, no shit, it's affecting all of Hollywood. Because all of Hollywood is just as insane as Disney are, with their ideology first, business second approach to making entertainment. You can see how well movies do when they simply focus on making fun entertainment and leaving real-world politics out of it. Like Top Gun Maverick, which was an awesome movie. And Spider-Man No Way Home, which was great too. And both of those smashed the box office. Top Gun made $1.5 billion and Spider-Man made nearly $2 billion. Thank fuck Disney didn't have complete creative control over Spider-Man. Or else it would have been a woke disaster that couldn't even cross the $1 billion box office threshold. No doubt in my mind. So here's Big Baby Chapek's memo in full. So if you really want to read it, you can just pause the video. It's full of so much cope and is seriously quite funny. So that's about it. Woke Disney facing some serious financial woes. And while they are obviously very far from going out of business, they still deserve to be called out and laughed at for this. Disney, stop with the wokeness, stop with the damn identity politics, intersectional feminism, and stay the hell out of other states' business, especially when it involves laws that were only designed to protect children. But I know this will all fall on deaf ears. I mean, after all, Bob Chapek just made it clear that, no, Disney's not too woke. We'll be just fine going in this same direction. Sure you will, Bobby. Sure you will. Anyway, let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. Please like and share the video, and please consider subscribing if you enjoy my content. And I'll catch you all later.